Hi, this is Abby Payne, and this is my week 6 discussion. And this week's topic is ethical dilemmas in sports management. So, in sports management, you're always going to run into some problems because the world's not perfect. That's just how it is. It might be from the athletes, like pay or locker room, or from the fan side, like how the fans behave, or even social media. Social media can get out of hand very fast because once it's on the internet, it's always going to be on the internet. But so the main ethical problem I chose to talk about that most sports management has to deal with in some way is racism. See, I wrote a paper last year in my composition class about racism in sports. And it is huge. Because no matter what, somebody's going to say something because they're racist. And sports management, they have to figure out a way how to react in an appropriate manner and what steps to take to do so. So, let's say something racist occurs at a sporting event. A fan says something. The problem is, how do we figure this? How do we solve it and not sweep it under the rug? Because when you sweep it under the rug, then it gives almost some sort of permission for other fans to do the same thing. So, they have to figure that out. So, the research I did was, let's go soccer. Most soccer organizations, they typically ban the fan for years, if not their life. And in some countries, the fan is even arrested and they have to either serve time or pay a heavy fine. And I would like to assume that there's probably enforced to give an apology, no matter if they believe in it. But that relates back to the reading given to us by APA, because that's one of the examples, racist fan behavior. Because you're never going, in an ideal world, you never have to deal with that. You never have to deal with violence, doping, cheating, whatnot. Anything that goes against what we as a society believes is ethical and unethical. Now, I just lost my train of thought. Okay, so I think that is a huge problem, because if the incident is solved or handled in a manner that the player who was attacked or anyone else deems as not good enough or not suitable enough, then there can be heavy blowback. And when there's blowback, could be negative publicity, and negative publicity isn't good for the sports organization, the club itself, or even the player. But I think there should be stricter rules on racism as well as harsher punishments, because they're going to have to learn somehow. And if sports as a whole keep letting them get away with it in some way by, yes, jail isn't a light punishment, but they should go to jail longer, because that's verbal abuse, that's verbal assault. Because players go out to play, to be entertainment, not to go out and be abused based off of the color of their skin, their religion, their gender, their sexual orientation. They don't go out and do that. So I think there should be harsher punishments, like heavier fines, longer jail sentence, a permanent ban from at least that sports team, if not the whole sports league, like NFL or the Premier League. And even then, you could get into it to where they get put on an international list if proven guilty, to where they can't attend any events of any important sporting leagues. So if they're caught doing a racist insult or slur at an NFL game, they are put on a list, and then when they go to buy a ticket under at least their name for an EPL game, English Premier League game, they can't buy one. Granted, there are ways to get around this, obviously, by having a friend buy them or using an alternative name. But that's just an idea, and it's not foolproof, but with some tweaks it could be useful. And that is my week 6 discussion.